They don't support you?
Sup, guys? It's Disro. Welcome to Remax, episode 49. Apparently, shh is another language for Chris, but that's okay. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. It's August 4th, 2015. Lots has happened in the StarCraft scene in the past week. Kappa. Kappa. And so, yeah, let's just get started with the intros. Mo, what have you been up to lately?
Hey man, I've actually not been. Dude, I'm fucking my fucking PC, man. I swear to God, I have like a box in the bottom left that I can't possibly close, so I'm getting an OCD attack. No, I don't want to restart my computer.
All right.
Like a porn tab or something? Like some ad?
No, I don't know, man. Anyway, I haven't been streaming anything lately. It's because I've been working really hard on updating my good old micro tournament. It's a map in the arcade that was made in 2010. So it's been very popular, but it hasn't been updated in like 1.5 years. So I figured it's time for that because it's a little bit imba now with the new swarm house and everything.
Yeah, there's so much to change with that map. I hope your fans and the people that are fan of the map appreciate all the work you're gonna put into it. And yeah, I'm sure your fans are excited to see you stream again too. So soon, right? Do you have a date or anything, or?
I would guess like a couple of days. The only problem right now is oh shit! I had the stream on. I'm sorry, I'm like so unorganized. I restarted my PC. Yeah, I'm like waiting for a third player to help me fix those levels, and then also I'm gonna have some custom graphics. So I've talked to the guy who's like painting all the stuff for the paper. What's it called? It's like one paper that's being made, newspaper.
Okay, cool.
You know?
Yes, yes, I do know.
What's it called?
A graphic designer?
Yeah, but I mean that person or that paper thing.
Oh, the weekly all in. Yeah, Nicolas Chaussua. Okay, so you're getting that
exactly
guy.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Wow,
guy
you're
is,
going pro, eh?
me. Yeah, he's helping me a bit.
That's so nice of
And
him.
he's doing it all for free, of course, since it's for the arcade and everything.
That's so cool.
Saving esports and everything.
Yeah, it's glad that there's still some people out there doing that.
Other people is causing drama.
Oh, all right. What about you, Zombie Grub? What have you been up to lately?
No, casting and Archon moding and preparing for Let's Boot time.
Yeah, that must be exciting. Is it a lot of stress and work or work and stress?
There's a little bit of stress. I don't know. It's not that bad. Probably Rifkin has more stress.
Yeah. Do you have any plans after that? Or are you guys going to take like a week vacation and not do anything?
No, we don't take vacations. No, clean up afterwards and then back to casting. So I gotta do like a Red Bull thing and then Red Bull DC and then TwitchCon. And then after that, I'm going to Korea on October 1st.
Okay, cool. What about you, Chris? What have you been up to lately?
Went to Valencia, lost in group stage 1. Went to Finland, casted.
So that went well, right?
Which one? Finland?
Casting?
Yeah, went great. I'm gonna go to WCS Premiere. I can't remember what else. Rifkin's tournament thing's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play in that one actually.
What if we meet each other? Are you prepared for that?
What kind of question is that?
It's just a question.
Pretty sure we're gonna meet each other.
No,
I
as in
mean-
like in the bracket in the tournament.
Are you serious, man?
All right, I've been brushed off. That's okay.
Yeah, and then other than that, I mean, just been very busy. Like my schedule's so hectic. I'm home for like 3 or 4 days. I go to Finland. I'm home for like a day. Then I go to WCS Premiere. And then there's some other things that are coming up that haven't been announced yet, but just very busy, very busy.
Okay, cool.
How about you, Desra? How are things going with you in Reddit these days?
Well, things with me and
My
Reddit
man.
are a little bit hectic, but otherwise, I went hiking last Thursday, and it was. Do you know Celsius nowadays, or you're still on Fahrenheit's?
I don't know either one, to be honest.
Really? All right.
Yes.
It was 36, or it was 30, and it felt like 36. But in the woods, it's a lot
Wow.
more humid.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing like really high intensity for like 55 minutes, and on the last hill, after I was done like pushing myself, I almost fainted and got a heat stroke. Like my
Yeah.
trainer had to pour like his bottle of water over my head. It was crazy. Like I never
Oh.
had that before.
Wow,
So
amazing.
wow.
Riveting story.
Wow. What the hell?
I told you I did the sauna battle with Elfie.
Yes.
And then my hands were numb for like an hour. Like literally I could not feel my hands. Pretty sure that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
Did you
that's
beat him?
Yeah, I fucking beat him.
What?
Everybody
Really?
everybody bet against me. Everybody. Yeah.
Oh, so sick. Did you
Literally-
bet any money?
Yeah, I got a few €100. His nose got burnt, his ears got burnt. Like he got fucked up, man.
you know it's
Holy
really
shit.
dangerous. Like you can die from being in a sauna too long.
Yeah, but we weren't gonna die realistically. They said we swear you will not die, and then I had full confidence. I just said, you know what? I'm not gonna leave this shit unless I die, and then in that case, I won't have to worry about it. And then once you make that mental commitment, Desro, that's when you know you're gonna win.
All right. Well, that was a riveting story, Chris. Thank you for
Thanks.
sharing.
I thought it was a
I,
great
I
story.
have I have a question. Did you do it while drunk?
We had some drinks. I don't know if we were drunk or not.
Yeah, okay. Maybe you were a little bit tipsy. That could probably be an advantage.
Maybe. All right, Desmond,
Alright,
whenever you're ready to like start firing up some subjects or something.
All right. So the first topic for this week is going to be the macro mechanics in their place in StarCraft 2. There was a big BattleNet post that included a bunch of other stuff that we're going to talk about first, and then we'll go into the macro mechanics, which is going to last a little bit longer. So David Kim came out and he basically said that they've been thinking about a lot of stuff, but that are very specific across their meetings and all their discussions and playtests. And the warp gate change they're thinking of is that a unit takes 2 seconds to warp in at pylons that have warp gate touching their pylon power. So basically, like if you're warping in your main, then it warps in super quickly. So like half the time, right? Because it's 4 seconds to warp in a unit now, and it would take 2
5.
seconds. It's 5. All right, thank you, Mo. You're not even Protoss and you got this shit. Units would take 16 seconds to warp in at pylons not connected to warp gate. Chris, as someone who loves to do 8 gate Alden, like how would you feel if that was the case? 16 seconds, man.
Like for me, I really don't care what changes they make to the game. Like this is my general philosophy. I don't care what they change as long as the game ends up being balanced. So if they make that weaker, then obviously in other ways they're gonna have to compensate, you know?
Mhm.
So it's not a worry for me like if something dramatic happens, like, oh my god, that's so bad for Protoss, because they're not gonna just do that and then like not change anything else. They're not just gonna be like, well, we're just gonna make Protoss really, really bad and then not, complement that on some other way and balance. So it's not a scary thing for me. I'm fine with any changes they make as long as they balance it out.
That's such a clear-headed way to think about it. And as you say that, their next point is the warp prism power field takes 2 seconds. Players will need to tech to warp prism in order to offensive warp in well. Due to the smaller warp radius of the warp prism, players may require several to effectively warp in offensively with their army. This is countered somewhat by the fact that offensive warp-in's case is much stronger than before. So that's a cool thing, right? Are you excited about that?
I didn't understand anything you just said.
Yeah, can you link the
It's in the Google.
It's in the
Doc.
fucking doc, zombie grub.
This guy-
Get your
Top-
shit
top-
together.
Thank
Top
you.
of the fucking
Jesus.
doc.
But yeah, basically, like, you know how like it would take 2 seconds at home? A warp prism would be the same. It would be 2 seconds for a warp in. So always
mean-
having a warp prism with your push would be like vital now.
I mean, Yeah, I don't think it's going to change much. I feel like warp prisms have been gradually replacing pylons and probes coming. Because when you think about it, when you take a probe with your army,
Mm-hmm.
it's 50 minerals, and then you build pylons, and you're going to have to build multiple pylons. It's actually a bigger investment than if you just get a warp prism. And a warp prism's like uh, way more flexible because you can always just like ferry in some sentries to the ramp or something. So it's, I don't know, it's not such a big deal.
What about you, Zombie Grub, as a caster and a Terran player? What's your take on this?
I think it's good ideas. 16 seconds might be too much for the offensive weapons, but everything else sounds legit.
All right, Mo, you have something
Um,
else to add?
in general, I think it's a pretty great idea. I think this is the kind of Protoss design issues we've been talking about from 2010, and I'm glad they're finally they're having ideas about trying to address that, because being able to build units across the map like that has always been kind of funny design. So Protoss would always be like extra strong attacking, but defending they wouldn't be as strong, and then they would need photon overcharge, and all that kind of stuff just came in result of having warp gate in the first place. One thing I thought was a little bit strange was that they decided to do it around a warp gate or a pylon that's connected to a warp gate instead of just throwing it at the nexus. So I was thinking like maybe they could have the 2-second warp in like in the radius of the nexus instead of like 13 range, like a photon overcharge or something like that. Would make a lot more sense to me. The same thing, like for every expansion you take, you would have to build a warp gate and a pylon obviously next to that expansion just to be able to warp in there, and it just seems kind of silly the way they're thinking about doing it. So I think it would make more sense if it was around the nexus.
Okay, well
But
maybe.
yeah, like Huck was saying,
Yeah.
like in mid game and so on, you could always just bring a warp prism with your army and so on. So I don't think it would change balance too much in terms of like big fights and so on. But in general, I absolutely love the change. But obviously, it would make Protoss a lot weaker. But Protoss is already the weakest race, so
My
it's,
man.
it's better they do stuff right now than not do it at all. Like
Yeah.
so they do design decisions in the start and then they balance it later. So I'm all for this. I think this is great, bigger than you guys seem to think it is.
Yeah. Next up, they say that the Disruptor, they still feel like the Disruptor being invulnerable is it's not good and it's not fun. And they're working with a lot of community suggestions, also some of their own ideas. And this week, they're going to have something new with the Disruptor. So next week, we'll be bringing
Would,
you... What?
wouldn't it just be like, wouldn't it be better if it they didn't make it invulnerable, but they made it like not being able to be slowed or anything, you know, and or like stunned in any way. So like imagine that you could kill it still,
But no
but
fungals or
yeah,
concussive
no
shell.
concussive shell,
Yeah.
anything like that. I think then it's like it's still a really big threat, but the other player can be rewarded, you know, if they target it down in like a big fight or something.
Mm-hmm. Or they try to block it with some units in some way.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Hmm.
So the last topic of that whole post, that blue post, is the macro mechanics. Macro mechanics are something we've absolutely seen the community discuss in the past, blah, blah, blah. So they're looking at ways to make it less impactful. Option number 1, spawn larva is automatically cast by default, but only spawns 3 larvae. Mule efficiency is nerfed by 20%. Chronoboost cost increased to 50 and efficiently not quite doubled. So the thought here is that because efficiency is nerf overall, it's not a big of a deal to not do these mechanics spot on all the time. Option number 2 is to remove the Chronoboost or remove the Mule, and spawn larva is autocast by default but only spawns 2 larvae instead of 4. The thought here is just to do away with these added clicks. We do lose a little bit of strategy and decision making, but we wonder if that's okay and have a clean version where players don't need to do the extra clicks. With that said in mind, keep in mind these neither of these versions are final. So let's just go for a vote real quick. Option number 1, basically everything's nerfed, but it's kept in the game. Or option number 2, half of it is cut, and then spawn larva is like really, really nerfed. Which do you prefer, Chris? 1 or 2?
2.
Really?
Yeah, like I prefer option 3. It stays as it is, but I mean, if they're gonna like nerf it to the point of like it not being useful at all, I would rather it just be like completely removed and then like maybe something is added in its place that's like, or like gameplay is so quick that you know you focus more on micro or some other kind of mechanic than that, you know, because the worst thing is it's like really shitty, so no one ends up doing it, but it's there anyways, and then it's just kind of useless. That would be like my reasoning, I guess, for picking, you know, 2 or 3.
What about you, Mo? I'm sure number 1.
Are we gonna go over the post, by the way, the Team Liquid post? Is that after this?
Yeah, that's after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think both of these options are terrible. I don't agree with anything
Alright.
out of micro mechanics.
What about you, Zombie Grub?